Hey teams, Lauren here with Bizrok. In this week's video, I want to break down one of the most important meetings that you could ever have in your organization, but oftentimes it gets overlooked. No, I'm not talking about the morning huddle. Most of you do such a great job of hosting your morning huddle. This is really for the owners of the business and that 1 to 2 key leaders within the practice. And this is your executive meeting. So for those of you that have worked with us in the past, you should have an executive meeting agenda. If you don't, reach out to us, send us an email at info@bizrok, that's bizrok.com, so that you can get a copy of the executive meeting agenda. I do have one right here with me, so I'm gonna kind of walk through this. But before I do, I wanna talk about, why you would even have this meeting. What's the purpose of it? Many of you are doing leadership meetings where you talk about what's going well in the business and what's not, and where you need to continue to grow and enhance and solve issues together. You look at KPIs and metrics, and guys, that's so important. So if you're following any of our agendas, you should be going through that weekly leadership meeting agenda every single week. This one is for more high-level conversations, truly business and organizational conversations, so that you're looking at things almost like from a 50,000-foot view. So I'll walk through this agenda with you. If you've worked with us for any amount of time, you know the very first thing that we always do whenever we start any sort of meeting is we start with something positive. So for the executive meeting agenda, I want you specifically to start with something personal, a personal win in your life. So imagine this. You've got the business owners in the room, and you've got 1 to 2 key leaders in the room. Usually it's somebody who's more of an operational level. And again, you're solving high level issues within your business. And so you spend a lot of time with each other. Yes, I normally do like professional wins or team shout outs, but for this one, I want you to share something personal, something that's going well in your personal life. Again, you guys spend so much time with each other. Don't skip that one. So you should never just start what I always call is coming in hot. You never want to come in hot to a meeting. So soften the meeting by starting with something that's really going well in both of your lives. Now, docs, business owners, if you're watching this, that's a great way for you to also gain insight into your key leader's life. So hopefully you know them really well, but if you don't, you should be asking them, hey, what's going well in your life? Share something personal that's a win in your world. So it's just a really great way to start any sort of meeting. So once you go from there, then we're gonna move to what I call cash forecasting. Now, whenever it comes to cash forecasting, really what I wanna look at is where are we in the business? Where are we month to date in revenue? Where are we month to date in collections? Where are we year to date? What about year to date in collections and revenue? How are we looking? And because it says cash forecasting, that means what's coming down the pipeline. So specifically, I want to look at where should we finish the month based on what's scheduled, what's already on the books. And then I would take it one step further and say, where should we finish up for the year? Based on what we already have scheduled, where are we on pace to hit? Now, this doesn't mean, well, if we did $100,000 last month and we're doing $100,000 this month, next month I'm gonna just assume we're gonna do another 100,000. Guys, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying what is truly scheduled on your books. Now, if you're watching this and maybe it's the beginning of the year, you might be looking and saying, well, gosh, guys, there's not a whole lot of scheduled for the end of the year. That's okay. I don't expect there to be, right? But I want you to get in the habit of saying, where are we scheduled to hit currently with what's already scheduled on the books? That's what I mean when I say cash forecasting. The other financial number that I always like to look at is what's called the rolling 12. So let's say we are in the month of April. So the month is April. What I mean when I say rolling 12 is looking at the last 12 months on the calendar and say, what are we averaging? If our rolling 12, which is, we would say May to April of last year, that's our rolling 12. What are we on pace to do, or what have we done within the last 12 months? I like to look at that, and we're really huge fans of looking at that number because it truly gives you a true depiction of where your business is growing. Oftentimes people create these long goals over a year, and for ease of numbers, we'll say you'll hit January 1 and say, I want to do 1.2 million this year. Like, okay, great. We just have to do $100,000 a month until the end of time, right? Well, guys, the problem with that is you're creating just a status quo. You're hitting a plateau. If you're watching this video, my assumption is you are growth oriented and you want to take your practice to the next level. Well, are you really taking it to the next level by saying every single month for the next 12 months we are going to do the exact same? Guys, that's not a goal. That's not a goal that's worthy to get out of bed every single day. That's just ho-humming through life. That's an average practice. We don't want average practices. We want truly exceptional practices. And how do you do that? You create goals that are worth getting out of bed for every single day, and you look at them on a rolling 12 cycle. That way you could say, great, our rolling 12 average is 100,000, but you know what? Next month, let's hit 105,000, let's hit 110,000. And those small little increments that you focus on every single month, guys, that will lead you to some of our practices that have been with us for a long time, hitting those 19% growth rates, 22% growth rates, 34% growth rates. One of my favorite ones was a practice last year that we were working with. They had a 55% growth rate. Guys, that's tremendous. Now, everybody's starting at a different point in their life and within your practice. So I'm not saying go shoot for 55%, but what I am saying is start small, shoot for 5%. Shoot for 5% from month over month. Hit it, achieve it, celebrate it, and then slowly start to move your goals. That will allow you to create tremendous growth within your practice. So I kind of got off on a tangent when it came to the rolling 12 under cash forecasting, but hopefully you guys could see just how important this is and why you should be looking at this every single week as an executive team. The next section that I want to talk to you about is having your key leaders bring to you accounts payable and what I call purchase approvals. So with accounts payable, you want to look at, what outstanding invoices do we have? What invoices do we have coming down the pipeline? Are there any checks that we need to write within the business? And so your key leaders should be bringing that to you every single week. Now, I know some of you, and I know some of you are like, well, Lauren, I look at all the bills and I pay all of the bills and they don't even look at that. Guys, that's great, but I want them to be part of that too. See, oftentimes our key leaders don't truly understand the overall operation of the organization. They see, wow, we did $1 million last year. The doctor must have taken home $1 million. Well, the reality is that's so not true, right? We have this little thing called payroll and expenses and debt and taxes. And then, only then, if there's anything left over, the business owner finally gets to take something home. And so whenever you have this meeting on a weekly basis with your key leader or leaders, they start to get some insight into the overall operation of the business. And I'm telling you, they'll start to appreciate the hard work that's going into the business every single week. So have them look at it. And the reason I like to do this, and I love doing this on a weekly basis, it's for a few reasons. One, I want you guys to have one designated time per week that you look at and pay bills. The rest of your time should be focused on either producing for your business or spending time working on the business and helping it grow, mentoring different team members within your organization. Once you've paid bills for the week or for the next couple weeks, your mind is free to then take care of your business and your patients. So you will be more productive, you'll be a better producer for your patients, but you'll also be a better leader for your team around you. So looking at that on a weekly basis truly allows you to lead and manage in a different way. The other thing that I like to do is looking at all of your bills in its entirety. So oftentimes what happens in a dental office is we look at different invoices or we pay bills whenever we receive them, which is really great, right? But then at the end of the month, we're like, where did all the money go? I've been paying bills every month, we're doing supplies. Anytime somebody needs something, they just, jump on Shine or they jump on Amazon and they start buying whatever they need. Guys, that's not a system. That's a recipe for disaster. No wonder you're so stressed out. If you're looking at it every single week, once a week, it should be known knowledge to your team that once a week we look at, we pay bills, we handle purchase approvals, which we'll talk about, and we order supplies one time per week. That allows you to truly get ahead of things. Now, for some of my overachievers, you're like, once a month I like to order bills, handle bills or order supplies. That's totally fine. If that's what works for you and your organization, by all means, go for it, okay? But Looking at it once a week in its entirety allows you to make different and better financial decisions. Instead of seeing those one-off $1,000 bills coming and going, you can look at all of the bills, and it allows you to say, wow, we've got about $10,000 extra going out this week. We need to make sure that we're on pace to hit our weekly goal. We need to make sure we're on pace to hit our monthly goal. Or, you know what? Why don't we hold off on this bill until next week? We've got some additional things coming down the pipeline later in the week, so we'll pay this bill next week because it's not due for a few more weeks. Okay, so if you need help, reach out, send us a message, shoot us an email, and we can give you some additional guidance. The last couple things that I like to cover in the executive meeting is payroll and the team. So payroll should be reviewed at a minimum of 48 hours in advance. So, if you're looking at it 48 hours in advance, or you're looking at it every single week and you're saying, okay, what are we currently tracking with regards to payroll? You can also look at PTO time and holiday time, making sure that you're signing off. During this meeting, your key leader or leaders should be bringing you big financial decisions when it comes to team. Do you have maybe team members who are due for a bonus? Do you have team members who are going above and beyond and are continuing to perform? And do you have team members who are maybe they're more valuable than what we're paying them? Guys, pay your team. If somebody's due for a raise, take care of them. I don't like giving out raises just for the heck of it, but if somebody is owed something or the market is changing and we're like, gosh, they've really been consistently going above and beyond, or my favorite, I don't know what I'd ever do without them, show them. If somebody's due for a raise, give it to them. But you guys talk about it as an executive team. And then finally, you spend time talking through issues and solving them together. So you just want to make sure that the 2 of you or 3 of you or however many people are on your executive team come together and you share different issues together. Again, these are high-level issues. I like to call these root decision issues and trunk decision issues. If it truly impacts your overall organization, those are the type of issues to bring to that table. So guys, if you need help, if you need guidance going through this executive meeting agenda, reach out to us, send us an email, jump on a call with one of our team members. Go to our website, www.bizrok, that's bizrok.com, and schedule a time to speak with one of our team members, and we can help you and guide you in implementing this into your practice. Otherwise, guys, thank you for your time today, and we look forward to seeing you and serving you soon.